Hey everybody, Z here. So I wanted to do a different type of video, this one being a top 10 most anticipated games of June 2020. I know it's towards the end of June and there's still lots to see, but I felt like I wanted to make this video because a lot of these are not going to change regardless of games to be announced. So let's go ahead and start it off. Number 10, Biomutant. So I never got to play Breath of the Wild, I never had a Switch, and I really wanted to play Breath of the Wild. So this, in some form, is my chance to experience it without having to pay 300 bucks. Biomutant looks very ambitious. It looks a little janky in some of the gameplay, but they're still not done with it. I feel as though whatever is going to come out at the end of this project is going to be very, very good, and I cannot wait to play it. If it's what I'm hoping and imagining is going to be, which I really hope it is, I will be fucking adoring Biomutant and will probably put in more hours to this game than any other game that I currently play, besides maybe Outward. So I wanted to put this at number 10, and let's go on to number 9. Number 9, Ghostwire Tokyo. I want to put this higher, but there's so much information that we don't know about the game. The gameplay, people didn't really seem to like, but I liked it. It seemed somewhat of a mix of Deus Ex and Bioshock, and I adore both of those games, so I want to see more of it, and I hope it's going to live up to the hype. I hope it retains some of the horror elements we were saying, which I imagine it will. I feel like people are a little skeptical on it, and they don't need to be. I feel like the game will deliver. So, let's move on to number 8. Number 8 is Elden Ring. So, this one's kind of forced because I'm a big Dark Souls fan, and I had to put it in there. You know, I don't know much about the game, what it's going to be about, what it even looks like, but I have to say, number 8 is definitely Elden Ring because I love Dark Souls. I played Demon Souls originally on the PS3. I have the collector's edition for Dark Souls 1. You know, I have to put it on there. It's such a big part of my gaming experience that, you know, it has to go there somewhere. And I want to put it higher, but I just don't know anything about the game. So, there you go. It's going to go at number 8. So, anyways, let's move on to 7. Number 7, Resident Evil 8, The Village. Resident Evil 7 was a very special thing to me. I had played the earlier Resident Evil games, such as 1 and 2, when I was a lot younger, and have never really gotten into Resident Evil since then. I played 4, I played 5, but I just never got into it as much as I did with 7. 7 brought this unique feeling of VHS snuff film horror that was so unique, and it was so interesting in every regard to me, personally, that I have to fucking play 8. There's no way I cannot play 8 if it retains some kind of similar style. And I love the first person on it too. There's something so unique about how they portray horror to you using the first person perspective to their advantage. So, to cut it shorter, I love 7, and I cannot wait to play 8. Without further ado, let's move on to 6. Number 6, Dying Light 2. Despite the recent controversy with them dropping Chris Avellone, I am still looking forward to it. I'm somewhat worried about the narrative, but if they live up to their branching narrative and retain that same gameplay loop that is just so much fun to play, Dying Light 2 will be a fucking goddamn masterpiece, or damn near it anyways. I hope Chris Avallone's departure from the project does not interfere with it too much, but it looks as though it's shaping up to be good from what they've shown so far. So, I am very much looking forward to Dying Light 2. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Alright, let's move on to 5. Number 5, Deathloop. Immersive sims are a magical kind of game to me. I've played them forever. Deus Ex, Bloodlines 1, Prey, Thief, Dishonored, Dishonored 2, System Shock 2, Ultima Underworld, and even to a degree, you could say Arx Fatalis. These games have a sort of special design to them that just make them feel so surreal to play. You feel so immersed into the world, and you treat it as such. There's very few games that can pull that feeling from you. So, being an Arcane game, I have very high expectations for Deathloop. Deathloop is an absolute top for me. Speaking of immersive sims, let's move on to number 4. Number 4, Bloodlines 2. As I said previously, Bloodlines 1 is an absolute all-time favorite of mine. The experience of just going through a building multiple ways is something that's so hard to explain in a video like this, so I'll do it quickly. Imagine you have a building, right? And there's multiple ways to get to the top. You can go through the catwalk on the side. You can go through the building directly through the entrance, guns blazing. You can use a crane from a nearby construction site. You can use power-ups to get to the top through flight or teleportation. There's so many ways to get to the top of this building, and that is what an immersive sim is. And this is what Bloodlines 1 was. There's very few things I did not like about Bloodlines 1. So, going off of that, I cannot wait for Bloodlines 2. And I know I've said that a couple times in this video, but these are my top 10 most anticipated games. So all of them I cannot wait for. I'm sure you'll hear me say it again at some point in this video. But without further ado, let's move on to number 3. Number 3, Little Devil Inside. So, back in 2015, there was a Kickstarter campaign for a game called Little Devil Inside. The game marketed a survival action RPG and showed off some of the technical style that it had. Didn't show too much substance as to what the game was about, but there was something very unique about it. Action-adventure RPGs are something that I play a lot of. Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Outward, Dragon's Dogma, the entire Elder Scrolls and Fallout series. I play a lot of them. And when I saw the trailer for Little Devil Inside at the PlayStation conference, it captured that same feeling of adventure, of exploration, and it has a very unique background to it that intrigues me, and really, I couldn't stop thinking about the game. That spirit of adventure, I love it. It's one of the reasons I play games, and I cannot wait to see what Little Devil Inside has to offer. So, let's move on to number 2. Number 2, Cyberpunk 2077. This one is a given. It's an absolute top on most everyone's list of most anticipated games. I've been watching this game quietly since its initial announcement back in 2013, and it's been a game that my friends and I have talked about forever. Cyberpunk has more than people know. It looks like, just a cool CD Projekt Red RPG. Witcher 3 was fantastic. Witcher 2 was. Witcher 1 I liked a lot. Maybe not a lot of people played it. However, Cyberpunk goes beyond that. It is an absolute classic in the world of tabletop role-playing games, which my friends and I play, and it's something that we've played a lot of. It has that aesthetic of Cyberpunk, which is a favorite of ours. It has all the mechanics. It has all the role-playing elements, the action you could possibly ask for from what we've seen. And I gotta play that game. And it comes out on my birthday, so that's pretty fucking cool too. Anyways, let's move on to number 1. My top anticipated game as of June 2020 is Starfield. This one is kind of a cheat because we don't know when it's going to come out, and we've only had one CGI trailer. I know I've gushed about all the other games, right? And how they have affected me. No game company gets closer than Bethesda. Bethesda Game Studios has... This is going to sound really lame probably, but it's changed my life. When I was growing up, there was a lot of games that I played. Ratchet & Clank, Jax, Sly 2, games of that caliber. But there was never anything that I'd played that really captured that full sense of enjoyment, becoming something in a new world, being a part of something that doesn't exist, technically, but you feel as though it's real and it touches you emotionally. Until I played Morrowind, The Elder Scrolls 3. I loved Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. It was such a perfect game. I still play it to this day. And then Oblivion came out, and despite its flaws, I put countless hours into it. Fallout 3 came out. I put countless hours into that and its DLC. I remember playing it on PS3 and hoping every day that there would be an announcement for the DLC to release on PS3. Maybe I'm old and people don't remember this, but initially, Xbox was the only console to get the Fallout 3 DLC. I played Fallout New Vegas, which I know is Obsidian, but it was styled in the same way. I played Skyrim, which I love. I still play it to this day as well. I play all of the Bethesda games to this day. Every single one. I cycle them out. I've made videos on this topic, and I'm gonna gush about Bethesda. I'm sorry. People don't want to hear it because they're in their bad spot because of Fallout 76. I just love Bethesda games. They're special to me. They hit me in a place that I can't express properly. And I love sci-fi so much. So to see them do a Bethesda-styled game, sci-fi edition, whenever Starfield comes out, all these other games I've announced, I'm going to forget about. And that's just the fact of it. If Starfield comes out, and it's even half as good as what I'm imagining, I won't touch another game for probably a year. Oh, God. Fallout 4, so good too. But, enough gushing. As an honorable mention, I have 2 games. The first one being Atomic Heart. No idea when it's coming out, and it would have made the list, but there's so little gameplay actually shown that, and even with the gameplay shown, there's controversy as to if the gameplay shown is real. If it is, I'm definitely gonna at least check it out. Bugsnax. Bugsnax looks like a fun game, and something that I could spend a lot of time in. It was made by the creators of Octodad, Deadliest Catch, and I think there's a sequel to it as well. If what I'm assuming is true with this game, where they show all the bugs coming together and creating a sort of monster, I'm going to end up liking this game a lot. I like horror games, and if this game seems fun on the outside and then has a twist of horror at the night, I feel like I'm really going to enjoy this game. And the other one is Pragmata. Capcom have been doing a very good job. I'm still waiting on Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm intrigued by what Pragmata is going to be, potentially, but there's nothing really known about it, so I can't honestly put it on my list. That being said, I did put Resident Evil 8 on there, but, you know, Resident Evil 7 exists. There's nothing to go off of with Pragmata. I really hope it comes out well, because more sci-fi games for me, happier I am. That is my top 10 anticipated games as of June 2020. Let me know what you think. Maybe you agree. Maybe you disagree. I don't know. These are just my anticipated games as of June 2020. It might update sometime soon. Maybe there'll be something good that comes out. And that'll be it from me. All right. Take care. Peace.